live tarot reading for you guys. I was just doing one and I had to take a break, and now I am back. So hopefully we'll get some more people back into the chat. I just want to remind everybody that that basically, if it's a more complicated question, I definitely recommend a private reading. You can book a private reading through my website, oracledaphne.com. All of the links are on there to PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. You can also book the reading through Etsy if you prefer. They have additional payment options on there. So yeah. You know, I try to book as much as I can, and if people do want like an email reading, please let me know. That's something else too that I've been wanting to mention. But yeah, so I'm gonna pull one of my paths from my archetypes collection, see what I get. Doesn't look like anybody's in my chat yet. Doesn't look, not yet anyways. Okay, so you guys got the Pomegranate Path. That's the first one I picked. I do want to pick like a second one. Again, these are archetypes that I created. Kind of give people an idea of where they're headed, like what to expect, you know? And let's see. Also, guys, just so you know, I have been recording live over on Instagram also. So, looks like someone gave me a thumbs up, but they're not in my chat. Whoever that is, thank you. I appreciate it. And the second path that I pulled is the Heron Path, which is a very lucky path. So to me, the pomegranate energy plus the heron equals things happening fast, things happening quickly, things moving and shaking. You know, if for whatever reason, you know, your path was kind of, you know, your life was kind of I don't know. I want to use the word hopeless or stale or like not satisfying. The Heron Path is one where this is like a switch. To me, this feels like a complete switch where you're going to get, the Heron Path is getting what you want. Absolutely getting what you want. Swathy's back again. Hey, Swathy. Oh, thank you so much for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Hey, Gabrielle. Or Gabrielle. Nice to meet you. If you're new, welcome. Thank you. I pulled a couple of life paths from my archetypes. So one is the Heron Path, and the other is the Pomegranate Path. The Pomegranate Path to me is about learning through the hard way of what you deserve, recognizing your self-worth and self-love, sometimes through the hard way. And usually people on this path need to love themselves first in order for them to be able to love you. So this is a person, like, you know, you may encounter people on this path who who can't love you the way you need to be loved, or who can't show up for you in the way that you need them to show up for you, because they can't show up for themselves. They can't take care of themselves. They can't love themselves. They're learning to love themselves. They're learning to be mature people. A lot of times, you know, the Pomegranate Path has to do with fame and fortune and having a platform and being on social media and spreading, you know, a lot of information that way. But it also can indicate, you know, coming across people who aren't the best. You know, it's like if I was to live in LA, for example, if I was to live in LA, you know, I might come across people who were very, very wealthy, or people in Hollywood, but I might also come across people who didn't have the best intentions, didn't want what's best for me, were there to really show me what I deserved, show me that I deserved more, show me that I deserved to be in a healthy, career or in a healthy job, or it's really all, it's very reflective, the pomegranate path. And there was another thing that came through about it. I don't remember. Just a moment. Something else came through about the pomegranate path. Fame and fortune. Living large. I don't know. Maybe it'll come to me later. Did you guys have other questions? I know Swati, you had a question, but it's more complicated. In the last chat, I'm gonna have to tell you that I prefer to do a private reading. If anybody wants a private reading, you can book it through my website, oracledaphne.com. You can go on Etsy. There's my listings are on there. I only really right now at this time offer a 30-minute reading or a 45-minute reading. People have asked me. I do offer an email reading for $75. I'm a little backed up on that though, so it would take probably maybe 3 days for me to complete it. If you wanted an email reading. I do also do a lot of healing work. I guess it depends on what you guys would want. Like if you want to do any cord cutting, or if you want to do any like healing work or distance healing work, I'm open to stuff, but I'm trying to keep it simple right now for my website. So I do mostly tarot readings where people call me by phone. I could also do Zoom, and I could also do Skype, but I prefer phone. So that's how I function. And yeah, so oh, you want to know when you're going to meet your Mr. Right? Is it a Mr. Right or a Mrs. Right? Oh, Swathi wants, okay, so I'm telling you, I can't answer that question, Swathi. It's too complicated. I don't even really fully understand the question, and I can't, it's just too complicated at this time for me to answer that. It would take too long for me to go into that. Okay, so Ashawara, I'm going to give you a piece of advice here, and this is important, okay? People that are looking, quote unquote, looking for love or looking for marriage, specifically people, and I specifically for people who are looking to get married, they need to know how to have a relationship first. They need to date first. They need to know what they want first. They need to be proactive in dating and be open to what relationships come into their life, regardless of the outcome. So it's like me going and kind of like, I don't know, being overly focused on an outcome. Like say I was to go to the store, and if I only went in for one thing, that would be really limiting, and it had to be a certain way. It's going to feel really tense, right? It's going to feel like really restrictive or restricted. So to answer your question, I'm not saying your name right, Aisha Waria, that I would say, well, if I'm being brutally honest, most likely it won't happen. Not with the same energy that you have right now. You will absolutely need to change your energy and shift into a different mindset, or else it just won't happen. Many people, this happens to many people, unless you want to get married later in life. People get married 2, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, over the course of their lifespan. It depends on if you're holding out for a relationship or if you're holding out for marriage. It just feels to me that you want it too much. You want it too badly. Like in some way, there's an element of desperation. I hate to say that. This is a live chat, so I understand, it's more private information, but I just feel like that's what the energy is. And so I would tell you, I'd highly recommend, doing some dating. It's not going to happen unless you're open to it. And if your energy is closed, let's just say you're not dating right now. Let's just say hypothetically, you're not dating, you're not open to a relationship, then how are you possibly going to be able to get into a long-term relationship in a marriage type situation? It's just that the energies are conflicting. Swati, I don't know. What do you mean you're very much scared? Are you sure, Waria? Why are you scared? Well, see, this is complicated. This is more complicated because, again, if it's, there's no dating and you're only waiting for one person, it's going to be really challenging no matter what, whether it's arranged or whether you finally meet someone and you only have one relationship. It's just too restrictive. Like I said, I feel like the energy is restrictive. It's not open. See, this is very challenging. It's very challenging to give you advice in this because I'm not in that situation. Swati, I'm gonna have to request that you stop commenting because it's there's a lot going on in this live chat here. And I said before, I'm not able to answer that question. Um, So Aisha Warrior, yeah, it just seems like you have a challenging situation, and I can't really address that. It feels restrictive. It feels like, again, remember what I said, it's a kind of like an energy of like forcing it. Ah! Are you guys still there? I lost my phone. My phone just jumped out of my hand, so I must be doing something right there. Um, okay, so I want to get back to the reading for everybody else here, unless you guys have more questions. I'm gonna pull some cards and see what I get. There is an element of trust. I got the Queen of Cups, which is a great card to be at the center of the reading because to me that she's dancing and singing her way through life. She's kind of trusting that everything's going to be okay. She's going through this transition period, but it's going to turn out all right. Um, the energy that's coming in from the outside is really intense. We have the High Priestess and we have the King of Swords. And together, this is like, I don't know, someone maybe in a church, or to me, this is like someone within a spiritual community. Or this is, to me, the news of a death of a loved one, like someone that's passed, or knowing that someone has died. To me, the King of Swords is usually someone in spirit. But the thing is, it's matching up with this High Priestess. So it doesn't really make too much sense here of why they're showing up together. I feel like that most likely someone that has passed. The pomegranate is coming up again, and the pomegranate to me indicates life versus death. Good versus evil. What is sin, what is not sin. There is a lot of energy about religion here, or about strong beliefs here. some of you are going to be getting into an argument with someone that leads to a breakup or divorce. I definitely see that. I don't know who that's going to be with. I don't, because this is too complicated for me to figure out. There's too many people, too many energies I feel that are at play. But I feel like there's some energy that's like going to lead to some kind of breakup or divorce, or going to lead to some argument where you stop talking to a person. There is a need to be social and connect with other people. I'm seeing that energy here. There is something about, there's two energies. There's one about being unhappily married, and the other one is about wanting to live a simple, peaceful, love-filled life. And that, for some of you that are wanting that, that's going to come to pass. It does say that that's going to come to pass. If that's who you are, like if you are the person that's like, I just want to live a simple, peaceful life where there's not a lot of conflict, where there's not really a lot of drama, where it's more of just, you doing you. I feel like this is about you doing you. I'm getting confirmation on that. So that's what I see there. There is the passion and sex drive card coming up here too. So there might be like some lust or passion for a certain, like for a particular person. There is someone here that has some what I call needs issues. So this is where the person's needs are maxed out, where they are not able to leave an unhealthy relationship due to fears of abandonment or codependency problems. Or this is a person who has a consistently bad struggle in relationships. Or this is a person who never wants to be single or alone. I mean, who wants to be really single? But the thing is like people who are single usually typically go through like phases where they want to be single or they don't want to be single. They date and then they are single again. They try to have a relationship and then they're single again. I mean, it's this constant evolution. It's not like somebody's single for their entire life. So to me, it just feels like for most of you that are single, you're kind of going through those phases. And for those of you who are in a relationship, there's fears of abandonment. There's fears of letting it go. There's fears of, okay, so the energy, this is the crazy energy. This is like the energy of a person who's scared to leave a partnership because they actually don't believe that any relationship is ever going to be good. So they actually are setting themselves up no matter what because they don't actually believe in relationships. Don't believe that anything is healthy. So they stay in something maybe that's toxic or not so good because it's like settling because it's comfortable or because they just simply don't think that something better is out there. They don't think that they can have better, but they also don't believe something better is out there. This is like someone who absolutely needs to realize that they're okay. So I guess there's a win-win that needs to be created here, and that to me is about understanding your needs and meeting some of your needs so that not everybody else has to, and not bringing all of those needs into a relationship. So it's like you might be in a relationship too. This might be another person too. So someone that maybe this could be even someone that you've dated previously, but this to me, it feels more like it's a relationship that you might have with someone, if this is not you, where they are dependent on you and like they have a lot of needs and they require you to meet all of their needs. And it's just like, that's a lot of, not just a lot of pressure, but it's a lot of stress. To me, it feels like a lot of stress. And this could be a lot of different types of needs. This could be an emotional needs. Hi, Nidhi. Hi, Nidhi Arya. Nice to meet you. Thanks so much for joining. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, I was talking about this card that talks about needs, and like the thing is we all need to understand what our needs are and what our needs, are in a relationship. And some people are unrealistic about this, and I feel like there's someone, either it's you or somebody else, that's being unrealistic about a relationship or unrealistic about their needs. And I do believe, okay, so like here's the thing. I read for people all the time that think that their relationship, okay, like as an example, that their relationship is going to be the last relationship that they ever have. See that smile? See, this is a psychic smile. I giggle, I laugh. It's not. No. I mean, it's so limiting to think that we're only capable of finding one person to meet all of our needs and put all the pressure on them to meet our needs. And sometimes this can happen in friendships too. Um, okay, so what's your question about career? Now, I told there was another person earlier in the chat who wanted to know about her career. And so with career questions, I like to lay out multiple spreads. I like to see like to ask different questions. Like I like to have my clients ask me questions like, do I see them leaving? Do I see them getting fired? Do I see them getting a raise or promotion? Do I see any drama? Do I see things getting better? Do I see them switching careers entirely? Do I see them going into like a whole new field? Do I see them moving for career? It gets very complicated with career questions. So somebody says, should you go ahead in the HR job? Okay, so this is one of those things. This is going to help somebody else too. Okay, so when it comes to career, there's a lot of factors, and I would have to look at the cards um, and ask questions for your HR query. But the reason, what I'm really going to say here is that when it comes to taking stuff, it's more complicated than should you just take it. Usually, like, if I start to ask the universe, am I going to get this job or am I going to get that job? Should I take this job? Usually, there's more than one option. And this is, again, going with all the energy right now is about options, right? It's the energy today, like that. That's what my guides are really wanting me to talk about. People that are listening, people who are watching me later, need to hear that there is more than one person in the world for you to date. There's more than one person in the world for you. There's more than one person in the world for you to have an interesting experience with, whether it's a one night stand or whether it's a 5 day, hookup. That would be interesting, or whether it lasts for, 20 years and then you break up and you get into another relationship, which then leads to maybe another marriage, which then leads to maybe another divorce, which then leads to maybe dating someone until you die. I mean, it's like, there's more than one person out there. And people that think in terms of the singular, think in terms of they're only going to be with one person for the rest of their life. It's not realistic. It's just not. If people want to get married, that's great. But to me, there has to be an element of reality check there, because the reality check is there's too many fish in the sea for it to be very singular. And when it comes to jobs, going back to this question about the HR job, it feels very singular. It feels very singular. It feels like there's more than one opportunity or more than one chance, which is why you're probably asking because you want to figure this out. And this is where I would tell you to get a private reading, because I can't right now look at what's going to happen if you take the HR job versus what's going to happen when you take something else. Or, you said there was a business question that you had. Does that make sense to you? And the reason you're asking, okay, so the reason I'm addressing this is because people are asking if they're going to be successful, like if their decision has a guarantee. And again, guarantees, I don't believe in guarantees. I'm one of those psychics that I like to see what and I could, if we were in a reading, tell you what the energies are around, say, the HR job versus another job. But there's no guarantee. Like if I said, there's positive energy around the HR job versus what the other options are, it's still not a guarantee that it's going to end up the way you want it to end up. That's just not how it works. Like, um, it's like me saying, if you go get this one lottery ticket, you absolutely are going to win. That's not how it goes. That's just not, and that's not my job either, just so you guys know. It's just not what I'm here to do. I feel like I'm here to kind of put my own spin on things. Tell people, try to give the best advice, try to read the energy as best I can, but there's no guarantee in any of it. Oh, and the question that I was going to say is, how do you feel about doing the HR job? Like, did they make you a good offer? Did you feel, do you feel good about it in general? Because here's the thing, it's not up to me. Like, I could say, yeah, the energy is great for the HR job, but I mean, if they give you a crap offer and you don't want to do it, then it is not, it's less up to me. Okay, so there was another person who wants to ask a question. Rainbow Love. Go ahead, ask me a question. Yeah. Rainbow Love, I'm not sure if you're still there, but please ask a question if you have one. Well, I would be able to. I was gonna say, Nitty, I would be able to address more of your confusion and kind of, maybe potentially steer you in a good direction, but I can't do that right now. I think there's just too many energies right now. Um, to get a reading, all you need to do is go to my website, oracledaphne.com, and send a payment. Creative arts, I think that was your question, how to get a reading. If you're asking how to get a private reading, that's how you do it. Just go through. Rainbow Love, to answer your question, there's a lot of negativity I'm picking up from that person. Whoever, however, whatever happened, I feel like it's a negative thing. I wouldn't go there. I would leave it alone. Um, Creative Arts asked me a question, but I'm not sure what that question was. It looks like maybe you deleted the question. Um, there's like a little devil that just popped up in the live chat. Hi, how's it going? Um, Creative Arts, I'm not sure what your question was because I didn't get to see it. So you can repost it if you want in the live chat, or you can book a reading with me, a private reading with me. It looked more complicated. Um, Hi, Sade. Welcome. Yeah, Nitty, I would say to move on from whoever that is. I think it's time to move on. That's my suggestion. Move on. I'm not able to, like, there's too many questions right now. It's like a lot of questions, and I'm trying to go through them one at a time. And I feel like the energy around that relationship is over. The time is past. That's what I feel. The time is past. To get a private reading, all you need to do is go to my website, oracledaphne.com. The link is going to be in the description box, but it's also going to be in the comments. I'm going to put it in the comments under this video, okay? Or I'm going to see if I can respond to you. Hang on just a second. No. Um, let's see. Yeah, it's just oracledaphne.com. So www.oracledaphne.com. But I'm not able to, for some reason, I don't know how to write a comment back. I have to figure this out. Um, okay, regarding spell work, I no longer do spell. I don't do spell. I can do it, but I don't do it. Okay, so I don't do spell stuff. Any spell stuff, you're going to want to go to somebody else for that. Okay, spell questions. I could do a reading to see if it's happening, but I don't touch that stuff. That stuff is not good. Hi, Joe. I don't think the super chat is open because I'm not able to monetize my channel right now. Um, I would do a super chat if I could, but I don't think I can. At least I don't think so. Oh, you're welcome, Nitty. I'm glad I was able to answer that question. Well, to answer your question, most people weren't seeing me. I fell off the YouTube algorithm for a long time, and for some reason, most people didn't have their notifications on, I don't think. And then I keep dropping my phone. and then for whatever reason, people weren't seeing me. So I am posting. I have been posting. I have over 1,100 videos on my channel, guys. This is an incredible amount of content. So, if somebody wants to look back, there's tons of stuff to look at. I am trying to post and I'm trying to record live recordings every day. And I'm trying to do live chats every day. Okay, so there was another person who asked me this question. Anu, Vikrant, regarding Vikrant's current feelings. My feeling, strangely, is that they're not really thinking about it. Yeah, they're not thinking about it. So I would strongly recommend moving on from that one too. That's another one to move on from. I hate to say that too, Anu. But you know what? If I was, on a video chat with like my best friend and they were like, yeah, Beth, you need to move on from that person, I would take it seriously. Yeah, it seems like it's too difficult to reconcile. That's my feeling, Anu. It's not worth it. And I don't think that they want to. And I don't think that it would be healthy to. Like, if things ended badly, I don't think reconciliation is the way to go right now. To book a reading, the way I do it is people call me on my cell phone. So the way to do it is just send a payment through PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App, whichever you prefer. All the links are on my website, oracledaphne.com. And then once you do that, you just send me an email that says, hey, when's a good time to book? I respond, and then I give you my cell phone. You call me at the time of the reading. So you would just call me, if, like, say we booked it for tomorrow at 12 noon or whatever, you'd call me at that time. If you wanted to do it through Zoom, we could do it through Zoom. I prefer not, but I can. It's possible. I have Zoom. So, I've done Zoom before. what was that last question? I don't have as many readings as booked as I would like. So at this time, I'm pretty much, I could probably book tomorrow the next day if you needed to do it tomorrow the next day. I'm not booked a really far time out. It might be like more like tomorrow afternoon or the following day, maybe in the morning sometime. It just depends on my recording schedule. Right now, I'm trying to record as much as I possibly can, and I have some other things going on. So most likely in the next couple of days. But I don't schedule unless I see payment come through. So if people do not make payments, I just don't schedule. This is how because there's too many no shows and things like that. So if you want to book, I always tell people I try to book as fast as I can and get people in as fast as I can. It's not like there's some psychics that are like booked out a year or whatever, months, and this is not me. I am really fast. I try to do things as fast as possible because if I wanted a reading, I'd want it done as soon as possible. I'm not going to wait for months to have a reading. If that makes sense. Um, Anu, here's the thing. Here's the thing. There are some relationships that are best left on the shelf. There are some things that you just need to move on from. Doors that you need to walk through. There's going to be, other relationships that you're going to experience, and there's other people that you're going to meet that are more compatible, that are healthier for you. Does that make sense? I've had clients get stuck on people, and the reason they're stuck is because maybe they feel lonely, or maybe they feel like, no, they're never going to meet someone. Or maybe they feel like it's never going to happen. Love is never going to happen. But the thing is that it's better to be single sometimes than to get back into a relationship with something that you already know isn't going to work, if that makes sense to you. Okay, well, I'd love to book you. I'm not sure. You're the little devil. I don't know. You wanted to book a reading. I'm happy to book a reading. Anybody who wants a reading, I'm happy to book. Sunny. Hi, Sunny. You have a question. Oh. There is something, Sunny, there is something beautiful in this moment where it's really yet to be determined what you're going to do. It's like the blank room. My guides are showing me like this blankness of like possibilities and potentials. And it's a beautiful space to be in. You might not see it as being beautiful right now, but it feels very full of potentials. So the thing is you need to decide on what it is that you want, whether it is that you want to stay in your cosmetic business or continue to work on that, or if you wanted something else. And I learned this recently that like when you want something, the force of your will is that's so strong can actually manifest whatever it is that you're wanting. We don't believe that that's possible, but it definitely is. So all you need to do is want it. Decide what it is that you want. If you want to do the cosmetics or if you want to do the other thing. That's what I feel. That's what I see. But it's a beautiful blankness. It's like it's not written yet. It's you. It's totally, completely up to you. And business, okay, the whole thing with business is that this is what I learned from my psychic business, is that things come and go, and it's really hard for especially small businesses to gather momentum, it's like pushing up against an ocean tide, because there's all this competition and there's all this, you have to kind of gather momentum and go at a certain speed and kind of get established, and it takes time, and people are resistant to the new, so it's like they're resistant to the new established thing. So you need to work more. If you're going to do the cosmetic thing, you're going to need to do more, I don't know, maybe creative advertising or different things, maybe different partnerships, things like that. But also my guide's showing me like branching off into making things that aren't necessarily only cosmetics. I don't know if Sunny, did that answer a question? And okay, so like to me, it's more of a complicated question. Sunny, does that make sense to you? Um, it feels to me more like something that could close, like you could close your business, but then revisit it later. Um, so maybe take time off from it. That would be my suggestion. If it's making you happy, or if it's being like, if it's really, really hard right now, and it's stressing you out, this is like a time to kind of take a moment for yourself to decide on what it is that you want. Be realistic. Is it making enough money? Is there, you know, like what's in it for you at this time, and what's the longevity of it? Is it realistic to kind of keep going long term? Oh, you're welcome, Sunny. I'm glad that I was able to help. Does anybody else have any questions? I think there's only two people left. I'm not sure who's left here. Oh, the other thing, Sunny, too, I want to say this. Anybody who's watching that's in business or interested in business, I get ideas for new businesses all the time. It's one of those things where things come to me all the time about different businesses that I could do. And there's nothing wrong with trying your hand at something new. And there's nothing wrong too, like for me, like my psychic business, I basically stopped making a profit on. I stopped making a profit. And I went to work in healthcare for 3 years, you know, and in some ways, for my business, for my psychic business to come back, I would need to see a profit, in order for it to be worth it. So in order for me to record more and do more with it, I need to see a profit. Like it really comes down to taxes. When you go to do your taxes, did you make a profit this year from your business? If you did, is it worth it to keep the doors open? Is it worth it for you to keep going and buying inventory and product or whatever, or making things? Right. So Sunny, to me the options are to get a new job, and I would encourage you to apply to new jobs. I went to work in other jobs, and there's nothing wrong with that. It feels like you could easily come back to it later, and it would be good to come back to it later, if that makes sense to you. Hey Haley, thanks for stopping in. Sure, Haley, go ahead, ask me a question. It is a tricky time for small businesses. Very tricky time. A lot of people have said this. And business in general, just business in general, it's very hard right now. Very hard for a lot of people right now. The pandemic did not do any small businesses any favors. A lot of people ended up closing their doors. A lot of people's credit, got maxed out and had to have, a lot of, yeah, it just was just a lot. It's a shit show. It's a real shit show, basically. And so, um, as far as business, it's hard for people to know what to do because they don't know if they should stick it out and wait it out or things are going to get better. Obviously, it's the springtime and things I think will pick up, but I also feel like this is just going to sound terrible, but I feel like this country, especially in the U.S. right now, is in a depression. And people don't even recognize that we're in a depression, but I feel like we're in a depression. That's what it feels like to me. There's all this very low energy. People are not buying, spending. The job market is crazy. The housing is skyrocketing. The food prices are crazy. It's like to me it's a depression. It's absolutely depression. And so how can business continue it really comes down to your taxes. Are you making a profit? Do you have enough to live off of? If you don't, then you absolutely need to try for another job. Okay, so hang on just a second. Um, I think the next Haley was asking me a question. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, Haley, not to mention the political turmoil. Okay, Haley. Okay, so I have to answer I can't say her name. Lupika's question about cracking the next competitive exam. um, to me, you feel like competitive. You feel like you're not going to settle for losing. To me, you don't feel like you're going to lose. I just feel like of course the answer is yes, of course. You know, you're not gonna. Have you ever lost before, Lipika? No, probably not. Of course you're gonna. Of course you're gonna pass it. To me, that's like an easy question. Yeah, totally. I mean, even if I said no, like, look, what if I said no to you? No, you're gonna not pass it. You're still gonna. Then you're gonna try even harder to pass it. So absolutely, you're gonna pass it. Okay, so going back to Haley. Okay, these thoughts regarding to me at this time. These thoughts. This is a complicated question because, like, it feels to me like how much time has passed between Haley. How much time has passed between you and this person? Like, be honest here. I think there's more than one person in this relationship. So either you or they have another person, or options. There's options. I feel like there is something about like maybe there was a strong friendship. Yeah, to me, okay, so to me, why would you go back after all this time? That's the question. Why would you, like, if it's been years and time has passed, why would you revisit it? Because of the connection? Do you just miss the connection to this person? Haley, I didn't, I kind of need to know, like, I think I just need to know why. You're just curious. So yeah, I assume, like, okay, men move on, okay, and even women. After a certain period of time, people move on. I think he has moved on. You know, if you want to hit him up, find out what he's doing, but I feel like most likely he's, you know, in something else. He's doing other things. He's got somebody else. That's what I feel. Or he's got some other options, if that's what it was, the way I want to say it is more options. I wouldn't go back. No. If he hurt you, no. Not unless like he said he's sorry. Like, if somebody says they're sorry and they ask for forgiveness, that's one thing. Then you can consider it and be like, okay, what's the situation? Is it healthy? Do we have a connection? What's there? What's there to work with? If there's nothing there to work with, then absolutely move on. Start dating other people. And don't hold yourself back. Don't stop living your life for something that happened a long time ago. Okay, so there's another person who asked me a question. P-Hugh? I can't pronounce. When will I get a job in civil services? Now, I'm gonna say this, I do not do time. I do time frames, not timelines. I believe that time is fluid and it's really tricky business, psychics, mediums, everybody, as far as, when something is going to happen. I can read energies if it's going to happen, like if I see that happening, but I don't feel like, but as far as time, and in this case, I actually feel like because you're asking me that question, that it might be longer than you're thinking. It could actually be quite some time. Because it feels like far out. It feels like maybe there haven't been things where maybe enough applications, or maybe you don't have the in where you need to, or maybe there's not a lot of jobs in that field. Like, I feel like that field, or for whatever reason around the question, there's some element of things taking longer than you're expecting. So I can tell you that that's what it feels to me. I'm glad, Haley, that I was able to help you, clarify that for you. It's always hard because sometimes pieces of us get stuck in the past with relationships. And you can say out loud, anybody who's listening to this later can say out loud, I detach with love from all of my exes, all the people I've ever known, all the friendships that I've ever had that I'm no longer in, and all the people that I've slept with, and all of the people that hurt me, and all of the people that I wasn't able to forgive, or I wasn't able to have a relationship with, and I detach with love from all of that. Snap your fingers. Detach with love. It's to me, it's like, something that we're not taught to do. It's okay to let go of people from the past. It's okay to let go of things that aren't really resonating with us at this time. I think that's all that I'm gonna. There's no one else right now that's asking me any other questions. And it's been really fun chat. I appreciate everyone showing up and asking me all these questions. And I'll be back again for more. I've got to go because my cell phone battery is low. If I can pop on here later and do another one, I will. So watch for that. And appreciate all the love and support, guys, very much so. If you want to check out more stuff, I've got more live recordings that I've already posted. I think there's like 14 ones that I did over on Instagram. So thank you guys so much. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, bye guys. Take care.